Okay, so this video is a video for some specific people, although anyone can get something out of this. So, this video is a video on interacting with potential people in a public place that you might be attracted in and might be interested in exploring, whatever that may be, whether it's the conversation, that just a conversation to see where it might go, or whether it's a potential to go more on dates and stuff like that. If you've been a fan of my work or you know me personally, you know that I'm an advocate for human to human connection. Does not mean I am not an advocate for human to app to human connection, which is, for example, this, right? This is through technology. But I've spent years coaching and teaching people the dynamics between, meeting new people. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I came to this whole thing of surrender, because surrender was the thing that worked the most, thing that worked the most in myself, and the thing that worked the most when I'm in coaching other people. So without further ado, I'm going to be introducing this video as how to meet other people through surrender, because I really want to sort of get into the nuts and bolts of who you are as a person connecting with other people, because it's like the more you know, the less you know, and then eventually you realize, since you're never going to know it, even as a quote-unquote master, you sort of surrender to the flow of whatever might happen, and you end up getting, again, without a better word, good at just spontaneous conversation. So if you are someone who's single and ready to mingle, or you just want to get some, or whatever it is, I know we're in lockdown, or at least in my particular state, but it doesn't matter, because not to break the laws, but just because we're socially distant doesn't mean we can't be social, and I think that's really worth recognizing here. So if you don't know what surrender is the amazing thing that I teach in every fucking video and whatever, that is the simple process of feeling your deep emotions. So in the past, I've talked a lot about approach anxiety, feeling scared around interacting with strangers. The solution for that is always to literally surrender to the pain, surrender to the feelings that you have around that, because pretty soon those feelings change, they pass, they evolve, and you get what we call an expanded awareness, where you realize you weren't scared of the person you're attracted to per se, but you were scared of feeling rejected. And then you surrender to that feeling of feeling rejected, and then you realize that you were rejecting yourself far before any other person that you were attracted to could. So this is more of a, rather than dealing with the anxiety around it, dealing with, I guess, a sort of roadmap, to hand this out to some specific people that I know, but to also give this to a wider audience, what the roadmap is. And that roadmap is, honestly, to surrender to your desire, first of all, to interact with other humans. When I say this tongue-in-cheek because I'm trying to be good when it comes to the YouTube algorithms. But that's the truth, right? Like, if you are interested in interacting with other humans at a romantic or non-romantic or at a sexual level, there is nothing's going to help you more than admitting that that's actually what you want. Most of the time, what people do is that they go into dating trying to pretend that they're not, and that is an act of denial of one's desire. And when you are janky with that, other people are going to feel that jankiness. It's like you have not fully surrendered to your own desire. You aren't aware of what you truly deeply want at a deep, like, manifest destiny level. It's like, I swear to God, if this is like the one thing that makes a huge difference, this is one of the biggest fucking things. It's like most people I've found when it came to their confidence in interacting with other people, their ability to own their fact that they want to speak to people, that own their sexuality, own their desire, regardless of if they express that or not when they actually interact with their chosen intended, is almost like a make or break thing. It's like if you are afraid of expressing your desire, you'll get results. It'll just take far longer. There is no energy flowing. This is about energy flowing. This is always about energy flowing. This is about untapping the fucking cork of the wine bottle and letting the beautiful fucking wine come out. But it's also about letting your energy flow. So like making space to meet someone, making space for your heart to interact with your chosen intended, for example. Now, the second thing is then when you see the person that you are attracted to, because truth be told, people will be like, oh, where do I meet people? Fucking everywhere. You go meet people at the store, meet people at the cafe, meet people at a bar, meet people on a bus. You meet people. Like, people are like, where do I meet people? You meet people. You meet people on a daily basis. This is meeting someone, even if it's at a videological level. Like, we've got to appreciate that. And when I be coaching people on social stuff, it's like really worth recognizing that, like, we meet people on a daily basis. Like, it's we don't have to worry about meeting people. We meet people, like, and recognizing that. And that was the thing that I came to with surrender as well. It's like recognizing the minutiae of the situation is that we meet people at a daily level really helped me take the pressure off even myself for interacting with other humans. It's like you meet people. And the more you let yourself recognize what it truly means to meet people, you end up, letting that energy flow, and you create a lot of more positive reference experiences. Because suddenly it's not a big deal to interact with someone because you interacted with the old lady, like, all the time. You know, it's because you interact with everyone all the time. You're just that kind of person. That's one of the biggest core things that I always really recommend for people who are professionally or semi-professionally or just interested in pursuing dating. It's the something that we are, not something that we do. Because we are attractive. We're not do attractive. You know, we are social. We're not do social. Even though you might do social and do attractive, it's deep down inside of us. We just have to let it out. Now, that's the thing. So once you see that person, surrender to your desire to speak to them. Because some people might feel like they don't know what to say or it's too intimidating and stuff like that. And there is a lot of stuff to surrender to. Like, it's like the more you surrender to, the more emotions you surrender to in yourself, the more the energy flows. So, like, you might see someone and you're attracted to them and that fucking freaks you the fuck out. Do not worry about approaching that person just yet. Fucking deal with that shit. If their attractiveness freaks you out, you got to surrender to that freaking out. Then you realize, hey, wait a second, it wasn't a big deal. What the fuck was I talking about? Like, you get over it. You process. You get past it. If then later on you don't know what to say, here's the other thing that through this own journey with myself with surrender, I realized that we're always talking to people. Like, we're communicating through our body language, or communicating through our facial expressions. Whether we talk to them or not, we are communicating with them. People are acutely aware of your presence, even if they aren't consciously aware of that. So then when you recognize that, it makes it not so difficult, but approaching someone new is no longer a needy thing. When you understand that at a deep fucking level, it's no longer a needy thing, because it's okay if you talk to them, it's okay if you don't, because in your heart you already have. You've already let that momentum run, and that momentum doesn't have to connect with them. It can connect with the next person, connect with the next person. And so it's this beautiful thing, and I always try and keep these videos exactly under 10 minutes, because then I can upload them to Instagram without fucking doing any shenanigans. But the answer is always surrender to whatever you're feeling. Surrender to your desire. Let that tap run. Make space for love in your life, or whatever it is, and it'll fucking come. It'll come with vengeance. You will not be able to stop it. And that's the cool thing. Ba-pow!